Money Monday with the University of Michigan Credit Union on the Lucian Land Show. Today we're going to talk about choosing a realtor. What does that have to do with your finances? Well, we're going to find out. You are listening to Ann Arbor's Talk Station, 1290 WLBY. Whether you're a first-time home buyer or seller, or you've done it all before, buying or selling a home can be a complicated and stressful experience. And it's no wonder that over 80% of sellers choose to list with a real estate agent, according to the Zillow Group Consumer Housing Trends Report. Well, to help us learn more about how and why to choose your real estate agent, we are joined by Mark Munzenberger, Financial Education Manager at University of Michigan Credit Union. Well, this is a topic I didn't think we'd be covering. I didn't realize that it had to do with our financial health.
It ties in so closely. One of the workshops that I do on a fairly consistent basis, Lucian, is a workshop designed for first-time home buyers. And it is one of the most popular workshops that I do here. And these are folks that are, been renting for years and they're trying to buy a home and they want to know all about the process. And one of the most important parts of that workshop is encouraging people to work, of course, with a reputable lender. And number two, work with an experienced real estate agent or realtor.
All right, let's talk about some of the benefits or the value of working with a real estate agent.
Oh, there's such a long list. Let's just talk about just a few of them because there's so much to this transaction that people aren't aware of. Talking about even the contractual nature of purchase agreements, understanding how those work, making sure that you're honing in. Buyers are coming to your property. Your realtor is bringing to you to properties that fit within your budget, that fit within your needs. You're sort of not wasting your time just driving up and down streets looking for open houses. Of course, there's other professionals that need to be in home inspectors, home appraisals, those type of things. A realtor can really tie that together, hold your hand through the process, and it more than pays for itself in terms of stress relief.
So how do we choose an agent?
There's a number of important steps, so we'll kind of talk through these together. And I usually like to encourage people. There's a number of real estate agents out there that probably a good place to start is with an online search. And that gives you the ability to sort of kind of interview these folks from the comfort of your own home, looking at their web pages. And this also gives you the ability to look at reviews, experience, current listings, how professional is the website. You'll get a lot better feel for potentially who you could be working with.
All right. What about referrals from other people?
Those are very helpful. Think about friends and families and those that you know. I know myself, the last time we moved, we used a realtor that was referred to us. And boy, that saved me some time. And I had a really great experience. So, there's nothing better than a personal referral from a friend or family member. And almost 1 out of every 4 buyers and sellers get a referral.
But you shouldn't just take the first one that comes to you or that you go to. You should meet with several, right?
I always think it's a good idea to, maybe meet with 2 or 3 agents. And essentially, sometimes this sounds a little strange, but I like to encourage people. Think about like you are the employer and this person is going through a job interview. So you want to make sure that the person you're working with in this very, very large transaction is somebody that's a good fit for you. Your personality, your budget, your price range, your needs and wants, make sure that that person is a good fit.
All right. So you want to interview them, but I don't know what questions to ask them.
Well, I've got a few questions as you kind of talk to these people. You want to know a little bit about how long have they been in the business? Their experience, 5 years, 20 years. There are real estate agents that focus more on buyers than sellers or vice versa. So kind of get a feel there. Often ask, are you part of a team? If I call you and you're not available, do you have some coworkers that can answer my questions? Sometimes folks that are on a team really can get excellent service there. If you have a unique situation, maybe you're relocating from a different city or those type of things, it's always good. Do you have experience? And then I often like to say, specifically, if you're going to sell my home, what is your opinion? How are you going to market it? What do you think? Those kind of things. I want to get their feel for what life is going to be like when my home goes on the market.
That brings up another really good point, and that is you want someone who has contacts because your home may not quite be ready to be sold yet. You might need to fix some things, do painting, things that will help drive that price up and get the higher dollar for you. So you want your realtor to have kind of those people ready and waiting to help you out.
Boy, I think some of the best relationships that we have in our community are those relationships between the realtors and the local contractors, the landscapers and the people that can do some repairs in the home. How important is that? And you are exactly right. Realtors really understand the contractors that can get the job done. We want to make sure the home is staged. We want to make it really look so we can maximize the value and the price.
Mark, you mentioned about asking the question, how will you market my home? So let's talk a little bit about selling strategy.
Well, part of that initial conversation, especially for somebody that hasn't sold a home in a while, you'll want to ask a little bit about price, the market. We've talked before, Lucian, the real estate market does go up and down a little bit, depending on the economy and the community we live in stuff. So we'll want to make sure we talk a little bit about price. Let's talk about timing. Will this home sell in a month? Will it sell within 3 months? What is your opinion? And then we'll want to talk a little bit about how are we going to market this? Are we going to have an open house? Are we going to put a listing on the internet and those type of things? So we just want to make sure we're synced up with our agent to make sure we're on the same page.
I like that. All right, we're going to sum this up for our listeners here as we talk with Mark Munzenberger from University of Michigan Credit Union and the important role a real estate agent can play in the sale or perhaps you're buying a home. So what are some of the things we should be remembering?
Well, in my experience, in terms of working with satisfied home buyers and sellers, here are a few things that really have stuck out to them. First off, they often tell me that working with an agent, working with a realtor that's familiar with the local area and neighborhood really pays off. Schools and churches and shopping and roads and commutes. For somebody that's new to the area, they're not going to know that. A real estate agent that can really provide that essential information is so valuable. If you're selling a home, you really want a realtor that really takes the time to become familiar with the features of your home, the nuances, the character of your home, all of those kind of things. Somebody that's going to really give you customized service.
Mm-hmm.
Here's one that's fairly common sense, but I don't ever take for granted. We want to work with somebody that's approachable and friendly, don't we? Sort of like you and I. We want to try to be friendly to our listeners. This can be an awful, stressful experience if things start to become a little rocky. We want a realtor that really keeps our needs in mind and gets us through the process.
And here's another question that I think is a good one to ask a potential realtor that you are interviewing. Perhaps ask them a problem that they were able to solve for one of their clients and see how good of a problem solver they are. And let's face it, they've got to be good negotiators as well.
Absolutely. I mean, with real estate, they're in terms of purchase agreements and price and back and forth and contingencies, there's a lot to it. And I think you're exactly right in terms of negotiation, proactive problem solver, and somebody that's going to listen to your needs and really kind of connects with you.
And what role does your credit union or bank play in this process?
Well, there's a lot of places. There's a lot of places to get a mortgage loan, credit unions and banks and community lenders and stuff like that. But oftentimes what you will find is the lenders and the realtors, work together because they have done this, they're experienced, they want the process to go well for the home buyer and seller. So oftentimes you'll get referrals. You'll get referrals and say, this is a great office. These are great people. Again, we got to do our due diligence. We've got to find that person that fits with us, but take advantage of those suggestions and referrals that you get.
Thank you so much, Mark, for teaching us about how and why we need to choose our real estate agent carefully and what we should be looking for, because in the long run, it could save us money. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome.
For more information, you can visit umcu.org. Mark Munzenberger is the Financial Education Manager at University of Michigan Credit Union, and he gives regular workshops, seminars on financial education, just a wealth of topics that he covers, and it is free for anyone in the community to take part in. Visit umcu.org for more information. I'm Lucian Lance, and this is Money Monday from University of Michigan Credit Union on Ann Arbor's Talk Station 1290 WLBY.